Star Wars! Star Wars Phantom Menace, the Jedi comes back. Padme, Natalie Portman as Padme. I imagine that's what, I imagine that's what Star Wars fans sound like, yeah. In other truths, I'm channeling Wesley Willis, I think, yeah. I very much am the Wesley Willis of YouTube commentary. People aren't happy. Star Wars fans aren't happy. There was a LucasArts short film, an official Star Wars short film, which is essentially AI Slop featuring real, biographically accurate amalgams of actual animals. Screenshots here, and here. It's heartbreaking. It really is. To think Star Wars could get worse. No, really, it could get worse. As if those poor Star Wars fans haven't suffered enough. They lived through the prequels. They died with the sequels. And now they've got this shit shoveled into their open, hungry, gaping baby bird mouths. No, they are. They're like Jabba the Hutt being fed grapes by that sexy slave girl. What do I think about this? This is the inevitability of AI. It's like the .com bubble. We're currently in the AI bubble. It's the Wild West. We are slowly but surely seeing the mass commercialization and commodification of this technology. You see it even now. You can't generate an AI slop image without there being a watermark or a price attached. They are phasing these things out. The AI video generator I used to create such wonderful slop nightmare fuel with, now you can only generate videos if you are a paying subscriber. I predicted this long ago, which is why I was very active in essentially mining as much AI nightmare fuel slop as possible, because I knew these fuckers were going to do this. I knew they were going to lock it behind paywalls. I knew they were going to shortchange consumers, because as soon as money rolls into town, it's no longer about weird new technology, what can we do with this? It's about who's willing to pay for this shite, And I think, those low tier, what's the PC term? Those niche-like little bastards, online artists that are terribly afraid of AI taking their job, because it is a job to them. It's not about expressing creativity. It's not about actually being an artist. It's about making money. Unfortunately, I don't think AI will wipe them out like the biblical plague they fucking are. No, I think AI, give it another year or two, most of it will be locked behind paywalls anyway. So this fear that commissionary artists are going to be out of a job, I don't think so, because the inevitability will be you either get some shit munching online artist to draw you Princess Leia getting gangbanged by I'm not going to finish that thought, but it was filthy. It was ludicrous how fucking rank that idea was. And yeah, it involved animals, alright? But no, you either pay a commissionary artist, quote unquote, artist, to draw it for you, or you pay a machine to draw it for you. I do see that as the future of AI. It will be bundled in with Photoshop and Procreate and DaVinci Resolve, whatever the fuck that is. But it won't be as free and accessible as it currently is or was prior. This is a tangent in of itself. But yeah, Star Wars has been... Oh, God, they've been experimenting with AI. Frankly, I mean, you know, the audience aren't happy with it, but their taste is already massively in question. You know, I find it hard to take anything they say with value. Yeah, all right, I wave a flag saying I love syphilis, but this is hepatitis C. I don't like hepatitis C. That's essentially what Star Wars fans shitting on this means to me. They love the Phantom Menace. They have lightsabers hanging on their fucking walls. No, come on. You know, they've got little action figures of Jabba the Hutt and Boba the Hutt and all of these fucking deviants. And you expect me to care when, oh, this is too far. This is slop. Alright, so Return of the Skywalkers, Rise of the Skywalk, Skywalking with John Travolta or whatever. That was fine. You loved that. You fucking loved Phantom Menace, dear viewer. But this is shite. Because a robot did it. Personally, I see that as, you know, it's almost like method acting. They've gotten robots to do the film about space robots and laser beams now. Heaven forbid. You know, it reminds me of when I was 16 and I'd play a pirated copy of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. You know, I feel obtaining a game illegally to commit crimes in said game, I'm getting into character. You know, I'm getting into the character of Tony Visconti. Or whatever the fuck his name was. You know, you commit a crime to play a game where you commit crimes. Yeah? So I see it similarly. Really. LucasArts is using soulless machines to churn out films with soulless machines. And I'm not just talking about Mark Hamill. No, it is bullshit. People are mortally offended because, I mean, it does look ridiculous. You've got a fucking polar bear. It's just a regular fucking polar bear. I've never liked Star Wars, frankly. You know, I like the first 3 films because they knew what they were. Right, they were silly space films with a light peppering of incest for good measure. Luke Skywalker has a dad, by the way. I felt I'd mention that. Luke Skywalker's got a dad in the Star Wars film. So if you haven't seen it, just be aware he's got a dad. Alright. James Earl Jones is his dad. So I'm a bit confused to why Luke Skywalker isn't a mulatto. Right. Like that boy is pasty. What's going on there? Is he the adopted? You know, is he the adoptive father? Is he the stepfather? Luke, you are a bastard. No! Rosebud in Citizen Kane, obviously it's a symbol of Charles Foster Kane's sled he had as a child. It was his beloved sled and it had Rosebud engraved in it. Him saying that, his dying word or words depending on how it's written, Rosebud. It's the perfect metaphor to end the cinematic masterpiece of masterpieces. You know, this is a man who has built an entire empire, fecklessly attempting to plaster over how fucking empty inside he is. And none of it worked. The women, the power, the influence, none of it worked. He built Xanadu, this, you know, under construction palace, to his emptiness. And really, deep down, all he wanted was to go back to childhood. You know, he wanted to go back to that sweet, blissful time when he was happy. He truly was fulfilled. And that was the last time he ever was fulfilled. So that's the spoiler in Citizen Kane, dear viewer. Rosebud is a sled. What's another film spoiler? Did The Breakfast Club have a spoiler? No. No, other than the fact Molly Ringwald was 16 in that, you pervert. Honestly, we can't just watch a film. You've always got to take it there, haven't you? You've always got to be filthy about these things. Oh, God. But no, sorry, weird tangent. Yeah, a Star Wars, LucasArts, George Lucas, Padme Amidala, Jar Jar Binks.
This is a film. It is called The Phantom Menace. George Lucas and the gang are back for more space fun.
Star Wars Phantom Menace! Star Wars Phantom Menace! It didn't recognise it as music that time. Heartbreaking. But this has been... Oh, fucking hell, I've done 11 minutes. Alright, we've got to move on now. I'm doing half of the slop now. And I'll do the other half at some other point, probably. In other truths, Billy Pac-Man, big man, Billy Mitchell, the Billy Pac-Man man, has officially declared that Karl Jobst has officially filed for bankruptcy. So it sounds like Jobst is out of a Jobst. He'll be needing to go down Jobst Centre Plus any moment. I imagine he'll be down there in Auckland or wherever the fucking New Zealand he is. Wellington, probably, knowing this fucking pervert. If no one else is going to enjoy this, I fucking well will. Billy Mitchell, the Pac-Man, Billy Mitchell man, has declared that Karl Jobst has been vanquished at last. The previous Milky Bar kid turned racialist, I've been told, as he's bankrupt. In my mind, bankruptcy is nothing to be ashamed of. My father, dearest, he knew the game and he played it well. The amount of times that fucker declared bankruptcy to get out of paying child maintenance. Oh, it's admirable, frankly. He made it an art form. Avoiding paying child maintenance was a fucking art to that. Donald Trump before him, a lot of great men have declared bankruptcy. So, Mr. Jobst, you will be needing one. But more than that, it's nothing to be ashamed of, alright? There's no shame in, strategically using bankruptcy essentially as leverage. So, work within the system, abuse the system, abuse people within that system. God bless yourself. In other truths, this is part of a bigger story. Some Vice writer, some journalist has been essentially hounded off the internet. They made a hit piece on some white supremacists, Vtuber. I don't fucking know. It's one of these jiggly anime cartoons that apparently believes they're the Ubermensch. The irony is not lost on me, dear viewer. But they did this piece exposing this individual for Vice. Always Vice and no virtue, yeah? Maybe we'll start a website, virtue.com, yeah? But she's essentially thrown in the towel once again. A sickening display of weakness. I do give her a little bit of leeway because she's a woman. Women, they're not made of the same material men are. They're not as durable. They're not as battle ready. So, her throwing in the towel, it is, disgusting displays of weakness here. But, I'm not going to go as hard on her as I would if this was a man. Because my thing, dear viewer. If you're going to write an article, you've got to expect any possible blowback that comes your way. And she clearly didn't, because she's been harassed off the internet, essentially. And if you can be harassed off the internet, I'm a firm proponent of the belief you shouldn't be on the internet. Okay? I do. I think it's like passing a driving test. You should have to pass an internet test to be online. I've always fucking believed that. Children shouldn't be on the internet. I think the elderly, to the point where they're like mentally ill old. I mean like caretaker, everywhere at the end of time tier old. You know, these people shouldn't be on the internet. And people who have feelings and emotions and they can't separate their real life from this internet world, they shouldn't be on the internet, alright? Because I'm not a bad bloke. I don't want to see people getting hurt and upset. But ultimately, it's your choice to be here. And if you're choosing to be on the internet and you can't take it, you should not be here. For your own good. For your own good and peace of mind. You should voluntarily off yourself from... You should log off, essentially. And this woman has logged off. So, you know, expected, frankly. No one, evidently, other than me, Big Man Earth Apologist, last honest man on this horrible fucking website. It really is. It's a... I'm the only man who can stand by what I fucking say. I have not made one retraction. None. I won't. I never will. I'm far too stubborn, dear viewer. If I've got 5 people having a go at me, if I've got 50,000 people having a go at me, all that means to me is fucking hell there's a lot of paedophiles in my comment section. And fucking hell that's a lot of engagement. Honestly, I would rather have 50,000 people calling me a tosser than no one calling me anything. Please, dear viewer, call me a tosser or anything. Yeah? What's your favourite John Hughes film? Yeah? I've got a feeling you're a fan of 16 Candles. Personally, I've got a soft spot for Pretty in Pink. I do love the song, Pretty in Pink. Psychedelic Furs. Oh, they were alright for 1 or 2 songs, weren't they, dear viewer? Love My Way. Oh, it's a new road. But I've done 17 minutes, coming on 18 minutes. I've done an almost legal video here. And speaking of that, foreshadowing, we've got some AsmonMold updates. So when I wake up, I will probably resume this video. Alright, I love you. Today's video is sponsored by Foom. Now, contrary to what awful, just terribly unfair, mean consumers of this product have written about it, it's not a vape. Right, let's get that out of the way first of all. Fum is not a vape. It's just lovely, vaporous air. Okay? No fumes, just vapour. Alright, it's not a vape. It's just lovely flavoured air. And some of the things these people have written about it, some of these reviews, alright, some of them are valid, but a lot of them, a good percentage of them, are just, they're not true. You know, I bought Foom and now my girlfriend isn't attracted to me. She's got eyes for the tennis coach. Oh, my Fiat Punto got keyed with homophobic epithets. Faggot written in all caps. Oh, it's a disaster. I'm thinking of ending it. I've never wanted a cigarette more. Just to name a few. And I have to say, dear viewer, some of that isn't true. Some of that is just false, okay? Foom is not a vape. Some habits are bad. I'm not here to, you know, be a defence attorney for the bad habits, okay? Some habits are bad. Fair enough. Don't be a smackhead. But this isn't heroin, dear viewer. This is at least a little bit less expensive. So this is a good habit. This is the habit without the bad. This is an alright habit. It's a perfectly passable habit. Trademark. So go to tryfum.com and enter my promo code, _Earth Apologist. That is _Earth Apologist 1. So... you know, maybe you'll get 20% off your first purchase with Foom. Maybe you won't. You know, maybe it's been a little tease. Yeah, that's what we need more of. Websites that ever so slightly tease you. Yeah, tease the consumer. That's what we need to do. But go to fum.com, enter my promo code, _Earth Apologist 1. And there is an underscore in there somewhere, but I'm not going to tell you where. So it breaks my heart, you know, because Foom came to me on their hands and knees. Please, Mr. Apologist, you're the last honest man on the internet. If you advertised our product, maybe we wouldn't have to be filing for bankruptcy. Yeah, maybe we wouldn't have to be maxing out credit cards to keep our dream alive. Please, big man Earth Apologist, we need you. Help us. You know, and they were fighting back tears at this point. I'm talking like quivering bottom lip tear shit. And I don't want to see a grown man cry. You know, their entire fucking office came to me. It was like some sort of Jesus moment. They wanted me to heal the sick. And I was looking at them thinking, all right, okay, yeah, I'll sponsor your gay little bit of wood. Fine. And now I do, you know, I do, and they've been good to me. You know, when the first channel got shot down, they were 100% supportive. You know, they're still sponsoring me. So, you know, fair enough, they owed me one, but I feel we've got a very healthy relationship. So go to fum.com. I suck my thumb, it's a bad habit, but it isn't. That's the plot twist. That is the spoiler of Foom.com. It's not a bad habit, it's a habit without the bad. Go to tryfum.com. There's some lovely flavours in this fucking thing. No, there are. Oh my god, I was having one flavour. I think it was raspberry ripple and crushed bumblebee. Oh my god, like, I think they kept the stinger intact, because my god, it actually hurt a little bit, but it was a delicious good kind of pain. So don't listen to the reviews on their website or in various other places about how it's dangerous, about how women won't go near you, or, you know, how it is a gay bit of wood, because some of that isn't true. Okay, don't read everything. Don't read everything you believe online. All right, that's all I'm saying. In other truves, oh god, it's this again. It's America's favourite rapist uncle that just won't die. Current President Donald J. Trump is helping America's working class here by ranting like a teenage girl about Taylor Swift. He's not happy with her, dear viewer. He's not happy. Has anyone noticed that since I said I hate Taylor Swift, she's no longer, quote, hot? And I promise, the Trump impression, it comes out once in a while. Yeah, it's like whiskey at Christmas. You let the kids have a little sip of bourbon or whatever the fuck. I'm not Jimmy Kimmel, alright? I'm not Jimmy Fallon. I'm not Jimmy Corden or any of these. As funny as... I'm not going to spoil it. That's a later story. But I promise, please don't abandon me in droves. It's a once in a while thing. I can quit the habit, I swear. Maybe with Foom, I can quit my Trump habit. I grab him by the pussy, it's a bad habit. But he's terribly upset with Tay-Tay. And he's not afraid to air his grievance here. I believe this is on Truth Social. Yeah, I thought it was X for a moment. A slightly more credible, uncredible website. Brilliant. But he's been ranting and raving. I used to like her quite a lot. I liked this song, Bad Romance. Do you remember this one? This one was quite good. And she came out with this song. I always liked it. I liked it quite a bit. I knew you were terrible when you walked in the door. And then she did. She walked in the door and tears in her eyes. And it was very good. But she doesn't, you know, he's over her. He's over Taylor Swift. He doesn't like her anymore because I believe she supported Kamala Harris in the previous election cycle. And that's no good. That's no good, is it, Donald? No. But he's not a fan. He's not a fan of Blank Space. He's not a fan of My Back Pages. He's not a fan of The Times They Are A-Changin' and all of those other great Taylor Swift classics there. He doesn't like him anymore. He does not like him anymore. So, someone he does find hot, though, is, I believe, the Saudi Crown Prince. I'm sure you've seen this clip. Let's get it up. Let's get it up, dear viewer. Where the fuck did I put it? Oh, no, I've lost it. Where did it go? Oh, here we go.
We are rocking. The United States is the hottest country, with the exception of your country, I have to say, right? Wouldn't that be a terrible thing if I made that full statement? But I will not do it. You're hotter. At least as long as I'm up here, you're hotter.
You're so much hotter than me. It's so good. Your sun-kissed skin. Oh my God, what'd I do to that body? But, you know, the terrible thing about Trump, right, if he did, in some weird turn of events, come out as gay, I can guarantee you, dear viewer, he would lose more supporters than he did when he was found civilly liable of rape. Isn't that sad? Doesn't that make you reflect on the cultural illness that is America in the 21st century? But he didn't stop there. He actually went on to rant and rave fecklessly about Bruce Springsteen after his Taylor Swift comment. Let's get that up. Yeah, highly overrated Bruce Springsteen. Of course, the thing he misses out in this quite long passage is he actually played ball in the USA several times at his rallies. So, I'm not sure. Has he gone off the boss? What next? Is he not going to be doing the little arthritis jig to YMCA? It's like I don't even know the man anymore. Honestly, I can guarantee you he didn't write this because it uses big words like a jerk and fervently. You know, it doesn't read like a 7-year-old wrote it. So I feel this is one of his intern scrotes that has a really weird hate fetish for Bruce Springsteen. But no, whoever did write this, I will have to say, I sort of agree, actually. I've never gotten the appeal of Bruce Springsteen. I like Dancing in the Dark, and that's about it. Honestly, I was always more of a Neil Diamond enthusiast. You know what I mean? Oh, Neil Diamond. Do you like Neil Diamond? Give you a comment below. Love on the Rocks. Ain't no surprise. Oh. And do you remember his terrific appearance in The Jazz Singer, where he sort of blacked up for a scene? It was a different time. That ain't no brother, that's a white boy. Oh, it's a classic. Absolute cinema. Absolutely a film, as the kids say, I believe. But yeah, that's the Trump update. I will keep you posted. I'm sure he'll say something outrageous tomorrow and the next day and the day after that and every day until he dies. So look forward to that. The Trump train has no stops. You are not getting off. In other truths, and following his contentious divorce of last year, Anthony Fantano, the music-busy internet man, has gone into a little bit of a spat with self-proclaimed centrist and alopecia victim Tim Pool. You know the fella, he wears the little beanie, he gets very touchy when people take the piss out of his quote-unquote music career. And they're now in some sort of argument. It's not really an argument though, is it? It is the argument equivalent of holding a dwarf at arm's length and just letting them tucker themselves out. It's sad, frankly. Fantano is completely in the right on this. And ultimately, the entire argument is over some trans rock star at a Bernie Sanders rally. Tim's main point of contention is they transitioned to make money. Bearing in mind, this is the same bloke who ranted fucking endlessly, incessantly, about go woke, get broke. And now his argument appears to be, go broke, get trans. Become DEI hireable, ever fucking dentally. So, you know, I mean, Tim Pool, no one takes this geezer seriously. You know, he can't come to terms with the fact he's bald. Why would you come to him for a valid opinion on anything, frankly? You know, and he's desperate to be cool, bless him. He's so desperate to be one of the cool kids, isn't he? He's got a skate park and he's got a compound and he's always shilling his, you know, survival slop bucket. He's so desperate to be wanted and loved, and it's quite sad, honestly. I never go as hard on this geezer as I could, because frankly, he's just pitiful. He really is. Not a talented bone in that boy's body, frankly. And these two have been arguing back and forth now for reasons I don't quite know. I think it's all a waste of time, frankly. And Timothy, dearest Timothy's argument is essentially how this trans rock star is a sellout. And maybe that's true. I'm not going to, you know, relitigate that point. Maybe that's true. You know, to my understanding, they used to be this crazy fucking anarchist. And now they're more of a, I don't know, slightly more moderate progressive leftist. My issue with that argument, though, is the man, the pudgy little spheroid, that is making it. Don't forget, dear viewer, last year, Tim Pool found himself in an awful pot of hot water over essentially being outed as a Russian asset. He was being funneled millions and millions of dollars to spread pro-Russian propaganda on his platform. And he was outed. Undeniably exposed. So if we're going to talk about sellouts, if we're going to talk about people who don't have a vertebrae and really are bought and paid for, let's start with you, Mr. Pool, shall we? Also, please take that hat off. I can't take you seriously. No. You know what I mean? There is nothing wrong with a man who's bold. Okay, women don't find bold men repulsive. What they do find repulsive is balding men that are in denial. Just shave it. Just shave it and grow your face out. It really is that simple, dear viewer. You reek of insecurity. And he is. He's a very insecure little man. I mean, he's still haunted by the Majority Report taking the piss out of his music. So, you know, frankly, I think this geezer should be picked on more. Really, he should be. Talking of people being harassed off the internet, this geezer fucking well should be. In other truths, the VTuber aforementioned has been banned on Twitch. This will do about as much as that WinRAR expiry message, innit? Have you ever noticed that when you use WinRAR? WinRAR is not free. Your trial period has ended and you can just exit out of it and carry on using it. So no, WinRAR, it is free. I installed WinRAR about 12 years ago. I have not paid a cent, dollar, yen, ruble, pence, sterling. No. Weird that, innit? But I doubt this will be very effective. Very few of these Twitch bans are enforced for long. Mr. Disrespect, that deviant who came online and lied about being a doctor, he's back. And I feel he did something far more egregious than being a Nazi in the year 2025. Honestly, when did that become cool again? Can I have a date? When did that become like fashionable again for mainstream figures to just be out and out racialists? Weird timeline. But this, you know, the VTubers, they're the jiggly anime cartoons who entertain either 14-year-olds or sex offenders. And this one apparently has some white supremacist views, which is silly, innit? It's silly. Can't we all just agree that Big Man Earth Apologist is better than everyone? Yeah, let's not get hung up on race or gender or ethnicity. No. Big Man Earth Apologist ism. Yeah, let's buy into that. wholesale. But they've been banned following the damning Vice article from that one lady who's essentially been bullied off of the internet. And frankly, do not be surprised if they are back in some form or fashion very soon, you know. For all the whining and bitching these types like to make in regards to censorship, they are treated with kit gloves more often than not. Believe me. If you're pro-Palestine, you're more likely to receive a long ban than anything this deviant's been up to. So, what do you think about that? Kirsche, I believe their name is. They're one of these... I don't know. Honestly, I don't understand the appeal of VTubers. A while back, I was talking to a VTuber. They were borderline. I wasn't talking to them because they were a VTuber. I was talking to them because they were borderline. And honestly, if I didn't meet my terrific, wonderful fashion model German fiance, I may have got with her, frankly. But it's another world to me, honestly. They are very much the pro-social, parasocial, internet entity, and I am the anti-personality. Give me your money. Give me your money. Now, in other truths, I feel there's one more story. There's two more stories. There's three more stories. A YouTuber, Belgian, so this isn't going to end well, is it? Acid got a house search and brought to court. No jail time. So, to the best of my understanding, this bloke doxed a rapist. And he got off with no repercussions. So, ultimately, if he was convicted of rape, I'm not going to lose sleep over a rapist getting doxed. That's not the sort of thing I do. Some people call him a hero. Others call him an idiot. What do you think about this? He's Belgian, so, you know, I'm not going to compliment him. Honestly, Belgium is not a country. Can we get over that? Can we get over this farcical delusion? No, it's part German, part French. Okay, it's not its own country. It's like Canada. Brilliant. Canada simultaneously fails at being French, British and American. What a fucking joke of a nation. In other truths, oh God, yeah. AsmonMold, he was sexualising a 17-year-old when he himself was 33. Now, to give the king of rodents all the charity in the world, because frankly he looks like a homeless person, so why wouldn't I treat him charitably? The age of consent, I did look this up. Unlike Zachary here, I don't actually have age of consent laws memorised. It was 17 in Texas where this happened. She, a Chinese native, the age of consent in China is 14, which was shocking. I know in Asia they have it freaky fucking low. Thailand comes to mind. But yeah, in the eyes of the law, he did nothing wrong. So I have to salute him. If you're going to predate teenagers, do it within the, realms of legality and they can't hurt you. So... well done, I suppose. Do you want a medal? You predated on a teenager correctly. ? Citation fucking needed. But Asmon and his fans, they were very excited about this. Oh God, there's more slop. Never mind. I thought I was almost done. His fans have been loving this, fantasising about their rodent overlord getting his nuts nibbled on, little gerbil nuts getting chewed on by this Chinese teenager. A very peculiar behaviour. Most of AsmonGold's viewer base are either horny 15-year-olds that think, screaming racial slurs is the pinnacle of comedy, and sex offenders, child molesters. So this doesn't surprise me at all, frankly. This is the sort of audience that would say these things. Most of his audience are closer in age to this 17-year-old than he is, which is fucking concerning. But honestly, it doesn't surprise me at all. This is the same guy that openly admitted to using a dead rat as an alarm clock. Do look into that. No, if you're eating, stop eating. And look into that, because, oh, God. Sorry, I have to scroll away. Looking at him, it makes me uncomfortable, frankly. Oh, God, I think it's the hair. Oh, you can almost smell it. But he did some videos with this Chinese teenager. He was 33, she was 17. Again, to be completely good faith, she's legal now. She's 19 now. So, you know, she was legal in the eyes of Texas at the time, and she's even more legal now, apparently. Again, I don't hold the people of Texas or the, you know, the government of Texas to very high regard. Isn't that one of the states where you can get away with fucking a 12-year-old if you marry them first? Yeah, no, backwards, people. So, you know, tobacco chewing, backwards, backwater fucking inbreds. So I'm, you know, frankly, the fact it's legal in Texas should be a warning sign, not a green light. But no, I do look down on everyone involved in this story, honestly. He was sexualising this 17-year-old, and it was legal. So well done, mate. Frankly, well done. imallexx is attempting the rehabilitation of his career to varied results. Will you do Minecraft tonight? Stigma Ohio Rizzler is desperate to know. You're disgusting abuser. I'm abuser with 2 R's, no spaces. Probs abuses furries as well. Go back to prison. Lol at abuse. You know he's trying to ignore it. So I don't see it happening for the geezer. He has created an audience of morally virtuous children, and they don't like abuse so much, Alex, if that's your real fucking name. Frankly, I think he's done worse. I think he's done worse than what he's been exposed for. And it's just a matter of time until it comes to light. So, hear it here first. Last honest man on this wretched website. Big Man Earth Apologist. I will tell you the truth. What do you think? Will he succeed in attempting to rehabilitate himself? I personally don't see it happening. I think that's everything. We have one last story. Jerry Seinfeld update.
Jerry Seinfeld, free Palestine!
Yeah, so Jerry Seinfeld, probably the most overrated stand-up comic ever, right? No. And it's got nothing to do with his stance on Israel, the fact he's a bloodthirsty Zionist. It's got nothing to do with that. He could drape himself in a Palestinian flag and start singing to the river, to the sea or whatever, and I would still find him about as funny as bowel cancer. You know, awful, frankly. But he thinks it's very funny that women and children are being just bombarded every day, and the taxpayers of America are helping fund it. A lot of them aren't happy about that, but Jerry Seinfeld, probably being a tax evader, thinks it's fucking hysterical. What's the deal with the West Bank? They don't even have credit cards over there. Just Jerry Seinfeld! Jerry Seinfeld!
Jerry Seinfeld is a bloodthirsty Zionist. He was famous for the show Seinfeld.
I don't know what my opinion on this one is, frankly. Closing. Can I finally fuck off now? Pizza Cake Comics. If you've ever had the misfortune of spending any amount of time on Reddit, specifically r/comics, you've probably seen this artist's work. They've defamation struck. Oh, for fuck's sake, he's fucking with the cardboard again. What are you doing? What are you doing? He's been vanquished. I threw a fish at him and he's been vanquished, alright. No, she's defamation struck someone for not liking her comics and taking the piss out of her comics. And I mean this with all the sincerity in the world, dear viewer. She is about as funny as a leukemia diagnosis. This is bad. Like, she's terrible. This is legitimately awful stuff. Apparently, the person who got defamation struck is a bit of a right-wing chudlet. So I'm not defending him per se, but I don't think defamation complaints should be a thing. I don't think they should exist. If they have defamed you, you clearly have enough of a platform and enough money to fund a lawsuit. Take them to court, have your day in court. If it is found defamatory, they will be ordered to remove it and pay a fine. Simple as. I don't think you should give anonymous turds the power to use YouTube's TOS, which is flawed, deeply flawed, to censor people. No, that doesn't sit right with me. If someone takes the piss out of you because you post things publicly at your own will, you should be forced to take any criticism that comes your way. And again, concluding on a similar point I made earlier in the video, if you can't take criticism, if you can't take people taking the piss out of you, you shouldn't be online. Certainly not with any level of fame/infamy. Because I mean it, this person is dreadful. They attempt political satire, which more or less boils down to, have you ever noticed how Donald Trump is both orange and racist? So, if you found that hysterical in 2015, you are in for a ride, dear viewer. But I think that's everything. Pizza Cake comic. God, no. They're not the worst thing on r/comics, but they are tooth and nail competing for that top spot. It's dreadful. It really is. Most of comics is a hellscape. I like the strip about the gay rabbit and the dog. I like that one. I think that one's cool. I think it's got a cool, unique visual aesthetic. That one's all right. But personally, I've always been a fan of bone-hurting juice, really. I'm more of an absurdist kind of guy. But no, Pizza Cake, completely in the wrong here. Just because, the person that posted the video you didn't like has politics you don't like, doesn't mean you should be allowed to censor them, alright? Only I have that right. Anyway, I think that's everything for today's episode. It's been a jam-packed fucking mess. I do need to really reflect on my life after this. I need a hot bath. I love you. God bless yourself. Smear these videos up the walls of the internet. Comment below, comment anything, a string of numbers, personal details, whatever. What's your favourite film, generally? Yeah, is it The Jazz Singer? Weird choice, but alright. And all that's really left to say is, I'm sorry you had to hear it from me.